Audie Murphy is remembered as one of America's greatest heroes, a man who rose from the poverty of rural Texas to become the most decorated combat soldier of World War II. His bravery on the battlefield was legendary. He received every major U.S. military honor for valor, including the Medal of Honor, and became a symbol of courage for millions of Americans. After the war, Murphy transitioned to Hollywood, where he starred in numerous westerns and even portrayed himself into Hell and Back, the film adaptation of his best-selling memoir. Yet, despite his fame and accomplishments, Murphy was also a man who carried deep scars from his wartime experiences, and those scars often shaped his relationships. Behind his calm demeanor and heroic image was someone who held strong likes and dislikes, and there was at least one person he truly hated more than anyone. Murphy's hatred did not stem from petty jealousy or Hollywood rivalries. It came from his unshakable sense of loyalty, honor, and integrity. Throughout his life, he despised dishonesty, arrogance, and betrayal. After fighting in some of the most brutal battles of World War II, he had little patience for people who sought personal gain at the expense of others. According to those who knew him best, the person who drew the deepest resentment from Murphy was someone he felt had disrespected both him and his military service. During his Hollywood years, Murphy often struggled with studio executives who tried to typecast him or profit from his war record. While he accepted roles in westerns and war films, he resisted attempts to sensationalize his story for entertainment. When producers or managers pushed him toward projects that he considered demeaning or exploitative, Murphy's anger flared. He hated being manipulated, and he especially hated when others tried to control his career without respecting what he had endured. One particular figure, a powerful studio executive who repeatedly tried to use Murphy's wartime fame for commercial gain, became the focus of his strongest resentment. Murphy felt this individual treated him not as a person, but as a commodity, and he never forgave the insult. This deep-seated hatred was also shaped by Murphy's own struggles with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, then known as battle fatigue. Haunted by nightmares and flashbacks, he often lived on edge, and his intolerance for disrespect was amplified by his emotional state. Friends recalled that Murphy could be fiercely loyal to those he trusted, but if he believed someone had betrayed him, he would cut them out of his life permanently. The person he hated most represented everything he despised: opportunism, greed, and dishonor. At the same time, Murphy's story is not only about anger, but also about principle. He was a man who valued honesty above all else, and he demanded it from everyone around him. His hatred, therefore, was not random. It was a response to actions that violated his deepest values. Even in Hollywood, where rivalries and conflicts were common, Murphy stood apart as someone who measured people, not by their fame, but by their character. In the end, Audie Murphy's legendary life was shaped by both his courage and his struggles. His hatred for certain figures was not driven by ego, but by a lifetime of hardship, loss, and the lessons of war. For Murphy, who had seen the worst of humanity on the battlefield, betrayal and dishonor were unforgivable sins. The fact that he truly hated one person more than anyone else is a reminder of the intensity with which he lived his life, fiercely loyal, deeply principled, and unwilling to compromise on what he believed was right.